Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
So, welcome to Into the Twilight.
Hey,
Hello.
we out here.
We out here. We're persisting into the last month of this year, which is terrifying. I hate to think about it. I'm going to be honest with you. It was really hard not to bring a happy thing this week that was current events related.
Yeah.
But I'm persisting. I'm trying to honor our values.
You're so strong. Yeah.
So thank you. But it's the first time in a while that I've been like, oh, what if though? You know?
Yeah.
What if? So how you doing?
What if? I'm here. I want to talk about target birds, okay?
All right. Okay.
Is that a crime? Is that a crime?
No, it's not. They're the only birds that are okay.
Because I know you are bird averse. Bird phobic,
No, they're
perhaps.
okay. They're okay.
Yeah.
Them
But
and Kevin from Up, they're all right.
Those are the only good birds.
They're all right.
Yeah. And specifically, like, because we have a good amount. Like, every time the holidays roll around, it's like, oh, let's get a burp, right? They're cute. They're like
Yeah.
little guys. They wear cool little outfits.
Your house just the fucking Target birds and those naked dolls with the dicks out.
Right, that's it. That's all we have. I mean, I do see, like, those girls on TikTok who are, like, collectors, like, into it, and that's too many burps. I want a tasteful amount of burps with fun little jackets and scarves, okay?
Yeah.
There's such a, like, competitive
Oh
collector's notion about it. It's pretty intense.
The reselling market.
The reselling market is crazy. And there's been this one bird who's a diva, an icon, that we've been trying to track down for, I think, months at this point, because she's nowhere to be found. We finally found her online and being like, oh, you can pick it up at this, like, Target that's kind of far away but not too far away, so it's, like, worth it.
It's not a real Target.
It's a ghost. It's a gal named Susan, and she's just really excited to get these birds. And so I go over there. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna pick up two because one for us and one for the person or someone who found it for us, and I'm just gonna pay the solid. And I go up there, I pick up my little fucking order, and they give me not one, not two, four
Holy
identical birds. I paid $10.
Wait,
and
they didn't sell you four for the full price?
No. I went and got a pickup order. I think I'm confessing to a crime right now. I'm confessing to stealing. This was by accident. Shut up.
Big Target's gonna come for you. They're gonna
Target's
knock on your door.
Get my ass. And you know what? Take me away. Worth it. The perfect crime. I'll do it again.
No, that person at the pickup line was an ally. They knew.
Yeah, absolutely. They looked me in the eyes and they were like, Godspeed, soldier.
Enjoy the reselling market.
Yeah, exactly. So now I have 4 identical birds.
I don't think you should be confessing to this.
Listen, look at her. You're going to tell me that wasn't worth it?
Oh my god.
You're going to tell me to walk back into Target after I already found out when I was on the bus?
I can't wait for you to make so much money on Depop.
So, yeah, if any, oil barons want to hop in my DMs who have a passion for burps,
holy shit.
I'm your guy. But, like, she's the moment.
Someone asked me what I want to look like in 50 years.
No, exactly. Exactly. She's a diva. She's so fuzzy. She's stylish. Come on.
Looking like fucking Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah, exactly.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I think her name is Ruby. So if you were aware of the Target Bird universe, you probably know who I'm talking about. So
I don't like to praise corporations.
Sure, right.
But it was a very genius idea what Target did. They knew exactly their demographic.
Absolutely.
And they were like, we know how to make these customers continue to come back with this collection.
And they fucking get me every time, okay? So I'm a sucker and a fool. So that's my happy thing / confession. How are you doing, my dude?
Ours are related, actually,
I love this.
Which is beautiful.
Look at us, same brain.
I know, just our one brain cell.
Yeah.
So I saw a TikTok this week that fucking unlocked a memory I hadn't thought about in like 20 years.
Sure.
And it is...
Oh, fuck, yeah.
I'm so excited for you. This is a little niche,
Yeah.
friends, and I'm sorry, but like I'm also excited for it to unlock something for you all too. It is in elementary school, the like Sally Foster gift wrapping fundraiser that we used to do, like the wrapping paper fundraiser, not the fundraiser itself, because those things can go to shit. Those things are classist. Specifically though, the wrapping paper fundraiser, when I was in elementary school, they used to give you this like sample pack. So you could see what the wrapping papers were when you were showing and trying to get people to buy them. And it was like I'm showing you the TikTok so you can see what it is.
Right.
But it was like a little pack where you could see, I don't know, like it's like a 4x4 of the wrapping paper. This unlocked something in me as a kid. I kept this for so long because I used to just fuck with it. Like the holographic ones were everything to me.
This is
It was the OG
one of the
fidget
earliest. I was gonna say, like, yeah, OG stim toy, OG fidget toy, like good sensory, like visually, but also like texturally.
Yes,
huge, you know,
exactly.
A lot of layers and dimensions.
And this wrapping paper, by the way, if I could have this again, like I used to think it was so ugly as a kid, but now I want it really bad.
Yeah, just cover all of my walls in it.
Exactly. I don't want like red cars and shit. Like their stuff. Yeah. Because I'm going to be honest with you, the bird stuff in Target's great. Everything else is just like red cars. Like red Christmas cars. And it's like, I don't need that. But this, I saw this on TikTok this week. The creator's name is Still No Pickles, which is like, thank you for your service. But there was something about flipping through the wrapping paper samples that just really did something for me as a kid, and I hadn't thought about that in a really long time, and that was beautiful.
I love that.
And
TikTok is so good at being like showing you nostalgic stuff without being like, hey, oldie, like your bones feel like dust. It's more like, hey, look at this cool little thing. And it's very good. I like it.
I feel like now, because I tried to look this up to see what it looks like now, because I was like, there's no way that they're actually giving out they're not giving out the wrapping paper now.
Right.
There's no way.
Surely not.
Surely not. That's too kind of them. And so in catalogs now, they just show samples. So you don't even get to like physically feel what the wrapping paper is, which is such
That's
a cop
fucked
out.
up. That's fucked. Yeah.
Because that was the benefit, is like not only do you get to see it, but you get to feel what the wrapping paper is. So for like sensory folks like me, you gotta feel like, is it that thick? Is it that good wrapping paper?
Right.
Which like I use newspaper and shit like that now, but back in my day, that's what I used to use.
Back in my day.
Back when it didn't matter. It crossed my mind. So anyway, that was great. I saw someone in the comments say they used to use those like 4x4s as tablecloths for their Barbies, which was genius.
Ooh, that is so smart.
It's so smart.
Wow.
So I love people. I love community.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and great.
I love innovation. Women in STEM.
So, thank you for your service. We have 2 beautiful pieces of current events this week.
Yeah.
We're using current events, as usual, very loosely.
Right, yeah. Current is a concept.
The first was sent to us by one of our listeners on Twitter, Cassie. Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie. This shook me in my boots when I saw it come on her Twitter.
It's so fucked up.
It's like real record scratch moment. Like, what?
It changes everything about last week's episode, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, right.
So it's an article about last week's episode, 162 Candles, and that Lexi, rip, pour one out for Lexi.
Rip to a real one.
Was, in fact, written with Taylor Swift in mind. And, what?
God.
So this is a piece from Looper, written by Mike Bedard, or Bedard, who knows? Here's the thing that I don't know, and I'm going to need folks to chime in on. I was under the assumption, when we watched this, that Lexi probably existed in the books.
Right.
But now, reading this article, it seems like Lexi did not exist in the books.
Yeah.
And is just a character written for the plot, which makes, of course, because that's what we got from the episode last week.
Yeah.
So, Kevin Williamson, who is obviously important, the creator of this show, goes on to say here, about Taylor Swift wanting to play Lexi. It didn't happen because she was too big, obvs. But he says, wouldn't she make an amazing Kirsten Dunst circa Interview with the Vampire type? Oh my god, I cannot tell you how hard I'm trying to get her. I would kill to have her on the show.
Jesus.
Here's the
Imagine.
thing, though. I loved Miss, forgetting her name now. From, hold on, I'm gonna fucking figure out her name now. Because I don't want to just call her John Tucker Must Die.
Sure.
That's not gonna be nice. Ariel. I thought she was great.
Yes.
She killed it.
Yeah. She was wonderful, yes.
And, listen, I love Taylor. She's done a lot of very interesting cameos of things.
Right, yeah. She's very across the board.
They reference in this piece about, like, cats, which, interesting, and The Giver. But she's done other cameos and stuff before, like, on CSI.
Yeah.
It would have distracted from all of the fuck shit that happened in that episode last week.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it would be incredibly hard to pay attention.
Also, most importantly, does Taylor Swift know how to play pool?
Huge question. That's so true.
Integral to that episode. Does she know how to play pool?
Right. I mean, I know she's allegedly a beast at Uno, but I don't think she's got the pool chops, you know? It's hard to determine.
It changes everything about that episode, though. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah. Right.
So it's very important context. Thank you, Cassie, for setting that in.
God.
This
Imagine.
I don't know that it's the right. I don't know where I would want Taylor Swift to be in this show because I don't have all of the context yet. So I think that I will need to come back to that after we watch.
We'll ruminate on that plot point back when we have more intel, more info.
Yes. This next piece, Us Magazine, published yesterday when we are recording it. Thank you, Kat.
The most timely of news articles.
Hot
So
off the
glad. They did this for us.
Yep. And it's just Ian talking about Paul and how they're just best buds. They just love each other so much. The main reason why I wanted to bring this to you is, one, did you know that Paul and Ian have bourbon, that they have their own liquor brand together?
What is with this? Okay, so
what is it? You mean what is it with CW stars making liquor together?
Yes, like, and the duos of dudes that people liked on television 10 years ago. It's like we have the Breaking Bad dudes with their tequila or whatever the fuck. We got these fucking schmucks with their bourbon.
And most importantly, Jensen and Jared have beer together.
Jared. God, of course
so
they do.
So the CW there's two CW pairings
Right.
that are in an alcohol business together.
Like, are they all money laundering? Like, what is...
They've got to be, right?
Like, who is drinking... Sorry, Brothers Bond? Okay. Be fucking for real. Be fucking for real.
I also want to say, I'm going to confirm this.
Yeah.
I also want to say that the other one... Okay, so Jensen and Jared's is Family Business Brewing Co. So theirs is also, like, related to the name of their show.
I hate this so much. Why? I guess when you're a dude, you turn 40 and you're just like, well, I guess I'll make alcohol with my friends. I guess. Because I also have a resource of money and somewhat of a fading star presence. I guess that happens. Like, what else? I mean, you could get a dog, I guess, but maybe this is a viable option for men of a certain celebrity status and age.
It's wild that it's at least three that we know of these, like, co-stars that have gone into alcohol businesses together.
Like, what the fuck?
I don't get it. I don't understand it. But apparently they're all, like, still in business.
Yeah.
Guys being dudes, you know what I mean?
Guys being dudes and making bourbon together.
There's just such a limited amount of guy hobbies, I guess.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You can only pick one out of the 3 allotted hobbies.
It's golf,
assigned to
alcohol,
you. Yeah.
or sports. And I get that's a different category than golf, obviously.
Right, yeah, golf. Golf is its own thing. Sports is conducive of many sports. Golf is golf. If you're a golf guy, you're a golf guy.
Because sports means you have to, like, buy a team.
Sure, yeah, that's the Ryan Reynolds of it all.
Right.
You just buy a football club.
Right.
Guys being dudes. Another fucking pairing. I mean, obviously it's not alcohol, but another fucking group of 2 dudes in their 40s who were kind of famous. One mostly more for TV, but both, relatively famous. Doing a fucking... let's buy a thing together. That's what happens.
It's
These are
the
the
3
3 categories. It's
Golf,
the 3 genders
alcohol, and sports.
Of dad.
And don't even fucking
I think we're onto something. We need to get
golf
a, like...
and sports are 2 different things, because golf is gossip, and you cannot tell me that that's not true.
That's true.
It's just like
golf is networking. Golf is power.
Exactly. It's just like when you, like, speed walk around the mall. That's gossip.
Right. Yeah.
And
it's a totally different category.
It's a different thing. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I know so many motherfuckers in STEM who go to golf because they want to do business deals, and that's different than sports.
Yeah.
God, I don't understand. It's okay to have... You can go to, like, a fucking paint and sip. Or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to go into a fucking alcohol business just because you want to be friends with each other still. You don't need a reason.
God. You can just be friends.
You can just be friends.
Guys will really just create a liquor brand with their homie instead of going to therapy. You know what I mean?
You ever just so afraid to ask your friend to hang out that you'll create an LLC?
Right. Exactly.
I don't know that.
I don't know that life. No.
Christ. Okay. All right. Here's my question for the Vampire Diaries writers. Why do you pack so much shit into your episodes?
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, first question, where do you get off? What's your fucking problem?
First of all, why are you rushing? Because we're not even halfway through season 1 and we're already into New Moon. So what's that about?
Right.
That doesn't bode well because we apparently have 8 seasons. So what's
yeah.
up?
So I'm a little nervous, guys.
I'm scared a little about that. I know I was saying that I was missing Bonnie. Let me clarify for the writers, even though the show's been done for a while. I meant that I want Bonnie to be happy. And I want her to be safe.
Yeah.
Not possessed and bitten.
Yeah.
Let me
Bonnie
be so
goes
clear.
through it this week, and I hate watching it.
Being gaslit by her friends.
Right.
Being
Yeah.
transported into the scary cemetery.
Yeah.
Not paying attention in classes because she's tired.
Right.
Being harassed by Damon. I mean, who isn't in this town? But still.
Being haunted by this damn necklace who keeps following her.
Right, exactly. Even though she tries to throw it away.
God. I was gagged when that first reveal came, though. When, like, she chucked it out the car and be like, fuck you, you're out of my life. And then it shows up in her bag. I was gooped, I was gagged, I was living.
It was very good.
Could not
You know,
believe
one
it.
of the writers, like, spun around in their chair and was like, all right, now hear me out.
Yeah.
What
They're
if-
kicking their feet. You
mean,
get
you
to have
gotta know
Caroline
better,
be like,
like-
you're a fucking liar and a bitch, and it's like, boom, reveal. God, I love it. It's so good.
That was some Real Housewives energy right there. I gotta be
Yeah,
honest with you.
absolutely. Yeah, that was a threatening one rotation for sure. At that time.
I was waiting for the little Bravo sting in that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to. What else do you expect if you're gonna make the crystal? I mean, it's not a crystal technically. I thought this whole time it was topaz, which is a crystal.
Yeah.
But you're gonna make it be amber. If you're gonna make amber be the color of her energy, you're not gonna throw that into the fucking field and not expect it to come back. That shit's gonna translate through generations.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that's really important about this. I'm going to call it a crystal just because they do in this episode, even though...
For consistency.
For consistency, even though it's not.
Yeah.
It's important to know because I've done some research here. The crystal that they're using is accurate. And again, it's not a crystal.
Okay.
It's tree resin.
Right. Yeah.
It does connect with Stefan and Damon.
Okay.
With Bonnie. And I'm suspecting with Rick.
Yeah. Ugh.
God.
Rick.
So, here's the thing. There are a lot of different places that you can have amber originate from. I know a lot of things about crystals.
Yeah. I don't want to brag, but...
Two main places that it can originate from are Italy, one which we know the Salvatores are from, and Germany, which homeboy Rick says that he's from, even though he was raised in Boston.
Right.
Which is sus, because Bonnie's heritage comes from Boston too.
Yeah.
It is meant...
Suspicious.
Very suspicious. It is meant to help with, like, clearing negativity, which makes sense of, like, why if someone would touch it, they'd be like, nah, I'm gonna push you back.
Right.
And it helps with, like, enhancing your memory and relieving stress, which Bonnie right now obviously hasn't been feeling a relieving of stress, but that's more so because Emily has been, like, in it with Damon, and she's having, like, a spiritual awakening. So, like, of course,
She's going through a lot, you know?
There's
a lot happening
feel that
at
way,
once.
but it is helping with, like, clearing her, making her be awakened to this.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if when the writers were trying to choose this, they were like, seems connected to all these people. We're gonna choose this one.
Right. Interesting.
I totally thought, though, like, they were going to have, by the end of this episode, that the Salvatores were going to meet Rick. And then that didn't happen.
No.
Like, I thought that was going to be the end of the episode and not the jump scare that happened.
Fucking Logan. It's back. You stay away from her, okay?
You don't just, like, rip up a photo of Logan and then he comes back.
Right.
How
convenient.
confusion. Especially because he looked dead. So I don't understand. Where are you coming from right now?
Right.
Hello?
How did you get here?
How did you feel about Miss Vampire herself? I know her from Buffy, from Pretty Little Liars, from Teen Wolf, Miss Bianca Lawson.
Miss Bianca.
Miss Emily in this episode. Yeah. How did you feel about her?
Emily was capital A acting.
Oh my god, for real.
For real. I don't know. It was like, I think it was so, because like the whole relationship with like Damon and everything is like, you know, we had a deal. And she was like, actually, you kind of weren't very honest about that deal. Like what the stakes were. And I can't fucking do that. That's crazy. I can't unleash 27 vampires that were saved from the church or like in the basement or whatever, hiding in this weird limbo for 150 years. Like, sorry, you can't just take one of them, actually. Right. So, and I can't do all of them. So, tough shit. Tough cookies, man. I do love her energy in the seance. Like, as a poltergeist, I think she's incredibly funny.
Yes.
Right? Like, she's incredibly funny. When the candles went from, like, little flames to, like, slightly taller flames, that was very good. I love that. Just fucking shit up. Playing little pranks, kind of moving the little necklace around. Very good. I love that.
Everything about that scene made me very nervous.
Yeah. Because these girls are not capable of holding a seance, first of all.
No, absolutely not. They're not. I don't like... I mean, I understand why Caroline's trying to do it, right? She's trying to, like, fully swing from not listening to Bonnie to then being like, yeah, I'm an ally. Let's do a seance. But,
I'm an ally of witches to the witch community.
But then, everything about this made me feel sick to my stomach because I would never do a seance in that town. Yeah, I would never do a seance in
too much history.
House. There's too much history. Yeah. And then Jenna mentions earlier in the episode of, like, with all of the Gilbert artifacts in that house, there's no fucking way I would do a seance in that house with all of that, like, residual energy. No. There's no way. The thing that I thought was interesting, too, is, like, we knew that Damon and Stefan were accounted for because we had just seen them in the grill. And we knew that Rick was accounted for because he was also in the grill. And so, like, it had to be Emily. Even though some of the signs that we were seeing in the seance of, like, throwing the windows open, the necklace being gone is very, like, vampire-esque.
Right, yes.
And so it's, like, it's easy to go, like, oh, that could have just been Damon because he's done this shit before. But I thought that it was smart on their point, or on the episode's part, to have Bonnie doing the, like, hands on her abdomen thing. And then when she comes out of the bathroom, we get the moments before the mirror where it's like Bonnie's acting like Emily, and then you see Emily's reflection in the mirror. I was like, this is that good shit right here.
That was, like, now we're cooking. This is, let's go.
But it's not like a typical, like, Insidious or Conjuring movie, because Emily's not trying to harm them. She locks Elena and Caroline in the house because she's like, I don't want you two to get hurt. So it's not like she's malicious.
Right.
Which is nice.
It's like, don't get involved. I got this. Okay.
Yeah, like, you don't know how powerful I am. Just, like, fucking stay out of this.
Right.
Which is, I think, very different from what you might see in those kind of movies where it's like, you fucked around and now you're gonna find out. Kind of. Yeah. Which is usually how this would work, because why in the hell would you mess around with this kind of, like, ancient history? Here's my question, though. And I don't know if this is from the books or not. Why does this have to be Civil War?
Right.
Why are we getting
That's
this
the big
shit?
question. Yeah.
And why are we finding out, and I know that this was mentioned a little bit from, like, the Founders Party a couple episodes ago, but, like, the Gilberts came over on the Mayflower. Emily was involved during the Civil War. Like, we're saying this stuff like it's a good thing and not pausing for a second on, like, what the actual implications of this shit is.
Yeah.
Hello? Like, why
this is
are
what
we
happens
saying...
when this town has not had any reliable history teachers.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens.
Right, exactly.
Happened.
It's just like, Emily, I'm proud of you. Like, I think that it's really powerful that you seem to have been, like, a free woman during the Civil War. Like, that's dope. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you had a good life, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean anything, per se. But, and, it's dope as fuck that you made this, like, alliance with Damon to be like, protect my lineage, right? That's cool.
Pretty iconic.
That's pretty dope. But it's just like, are we gonna spend the next 8 seasons coming back to the Civil War?
Oh, God.
Is that all we have here?
Is that it? Is this it?
It's just... And just saying that, like, not getting into any of the implications of, like, what that might mean.
Right. But just even on the plot level of, like, is this what we're gonna keep coming back to?
Oh my god, speaking of plot, how did you feel about Jeremy's Jackass file?
Jeremy. I love him. And, respect to this, like, not respect, but, like, at least this new teacher or whatever, it's like, hey, it seems like you're really in a tough spot. And there's people are talking shit, talking mad smack about you, dude. Just write me a little paper, just a little beautiful paper, without, Wikipedia or whatever, and you'll be in my good graces. I got you, dude. I got you. But he's a little punk, He's got he's rebellious.
It was a thick file, Cody.
Yeah, it's very thick. He's got a lot of. Listen, he's recovering from trauma.
He's a recovering jackass. Yeah.
He's a recovering jackass, and he's done a lot of, he likes weed, okay? At that time, it was a crime, yes. So I'm not going to say, is that a crime? Because it was, yes. But, in his defense, he had no one to talk to, and nobody wanted to talk about his dead parents for more than a week. So,
Yeah.
It happens.
That's true.
Sometimes you get caught up in your life.
So it is obvious that Rick is a vampire.
Right.
How?
Yeah.
Because we got the ring. He's like, it was my father's. And also, like, his name is Alaric Saltzman.
Right.
So, like, you're a vampire. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That is the most vampire-ass name. Like, come on. I'm gonna get a nickname,
Right.
Eric. Could just be called Eric.
Exactly. You could choose anything. Here's my question for you. In what relation do you think? Because it seems like they all tie back to the Salvatores. It'd be funny though if it was a stranger.
Just some total rando. It's like, oh, there's other
random
vampires here? Whoa. Cool.
But it comes very quickly before Stefan's like, I can't go to school anymore.
Right.
So there's now like a pissing contest.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the relation? Because there's not really any clues that I could pick up.
Right. Like, we don't really get a good sense of who he is outside of history. Just the personality type history. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm almost wondering if my hope is that Logan's a ghost at the end. Because I don't really want Logan Paul for the next 8 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm almost wondering if Rick, like, made Logan. And it's like I don't know, like a dueling thing.
Yeah, maybe it's like a turf war situation.
Right. Oh. Yeah, maybe we're gonna get, like, Sharks and Jets happening here.
Right, yeah, it's like, stay out of my West Virginia territory.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's what's gonna happen. Do you think that Stefan should have just texted Elena, I didn't kill my brother?
I mean, that'd be so funny. Of being like, hey babe, sorry I couldn't, I was out, you know. Her being like, a simple text would suffice. Would it have, Elena? Would you have been fine with receiving that message and not hearing him in person?
Would you have been fine getting that text and someone reading it over your shoulder in history?
God, it would be so funny though. It'd be so good. And imagine just like it happens and like they cut to her face and she's like has a big sigh. It's like, thank God. And that's it. And she's totally normal about it, you know?
That's the time that like we see Tyler for the first time in 3 episodes. He steals her phone.
Right.
Elena, why did Stefan text you, I didn't kill my brother? That's weird.
Right. Interesting. You guys have weird conversations.
It's a weird text that just to get. It's weird that he breaks up with her twice in this episode.
Like, fucking do it, okay? Like, just commit to the breakup.
And to be fair, he tries to do it, and then she calls him later in this episode, being like, actually, I need your help, because Bonnie's possessed or whatever.
Right.
So, maybe he was trying, and then Elena was like, so I know you said you weren't coming to school, but actually I need you.
So, how about that?
How about that?
Also, for someone who, like, shouldn't be at the school anymore, he does like to be at the school all the time. Like,
yeah,
him
if
and
you
Damon doing...
already, then are you supposed to be on the grounds?
Right. I'm confused. Like, why are you and Damon playing fast football at night on the football field?
They go on a full-on date on this episode.
I cannot.
A full-on, like, 3 different places.
Yeah. This is a 12-hour lesbian date. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just it's like all day.
3 locations.
They're at the park. They go to Target. They...
I mean, if you count, like, 2 of the locations are at the grill. But, like, they get drinks.
Right.
They play darts, which was...
They play darts. Yeah.
They almost do, like, 20 questions in darts. It was the most, like, tense sexual chemistry I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Then they play catch. They look at the stars. I'm so over
It's like, stop giving us ammo, guys. I don't want to want this. But this is all the chemistry you're giving me. And I'm grabbing onto it so tightly. If you
want me to ship either of these 2 men with Elena, then what?
Right.
Why are these 2 going on a date right now?
Yeah, you gotta try harder than that. Try harder than that.
The Damon laying out that he actually had a master plan this whole time surprised me, because I didn't think this homeboy thought a couple steps ahead.
I didn't think this guy had any brain cells.
I thought his full plan was terrorize Stefan. Like, when you look at his notebook,
right,
if like full Blue's Clues, like big ass crayon, it was like number 1, terrorize Stefan. And that was
number
end
2,
of list.
hate my brother.
Right, exactly. End of list.
Yeah, done. Also, we have to talk about the beginning of this episode too, where they're like kind of flirty. You know what I mean?
When he's like making fun of him.
They're mimicking
like,
and then mimicking each other.
Just like you, like, Damon, always have to have the last word. Like,
get out of here. Get out of town.
They are on a 24-hour date.
Yep.
By the end of this, Stefan has to like pull Damon off a tree that he's been stabbed with. For the 2nd episode.
Right. Yeah. Has anyone checked on Damon's abdomen? Because I know it's not the place you need to hit to kill him, but like that still doesn't seem very fun or good. Twice in like 2 days?
I mean, he's got that human blood, so he does heal pretty fast.
I know, but like, surely. There's a little pain. Sure, there's little residuals. Seems like not fun.
Yeah, he's just a little tender. That's all. But he had, like the woman like the bisexual woman meme of the math. He had like a full-on plan with the comet and every, like...
Yeah.
He was like, okay.
Yeah, the comet strikes twice, and it's like, actually, comets take a long time, so whoopsie, had to wait 150 years. But now's the time, baby. It's like, oh, you don't have rocks for brains. Great. That's really cool, actually, to find out. Like 9 episodes into a television program.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna get the comet. I'm gonna get the amber. And then I'm gonna bring Catherine back. Like, hello?
Ba-ba-ba.
Here's the thing, though. I know this wasn't gonna work. Because he's not going to bring the whole church back, because you can't just, like, bring Catherine back. You have to bring the 27 vampires back, which is such a random number, but okay.
Right. That'd be such a dick move. Could you imagine if, like, he popped in there and was like, hey, Catherine, just you. Y'all can keep rotting in hell until the next comic comes. Whatever. Fuck you all. That'd be so funny.
Here's the thing, though. They're all mummified. Like, we know the history. They're all mummies. Yes. I mean, it'd be, like, a little trial and error to figure out which mummy she is, but...
Right. Yeah. He's just in there for, like, 4 days, but just on nothing. Be like, Catherine? Nope.
Maybe that's why, is, like, you would have to bring them all back, because, like, how the fuck...
It's just a logistical nightmare. Yeah. Right? You have no idea. Yeah.
But the thing that made me wonder is, over the last couple episodes, we've gotten a lot of events happening at the old cemetery. Like, we had a lot of bodies that died there. And I was thinking about, like, are those... Obviously, they were foreshadowing that, like, that's where the old church was. But have those also been offerings? Like, is the blood soaking enough into the soil that they're trying to say, like, are those mummies, like, not mummies anymore?
Gulp. Uh-oh.
So I don't know. Anyways, it would be very rude for them to bring back all 27 of them. It'd be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
So that's not great. The other thing that was wild was... Well, there were a lot of things in, like, the back half of this that I thought was really weird. One was the... Oh, shit. What was it? I fully thought during all of this that Damon had been under Catherine's spell. And I couldn't tell in the end of this when Damon said, Catherine never compelled me. I knew every step of the way it was real for me. I couldn't tell if he was saying that to try and make himself believe it or if it was actually true.
Actually real, yeah.
Because it makes sense to me that Catherine would have compelled Stefan.
Yeah.
But it would be weird, like, from what we've seen, she turned the two of them against each other.
Right.
So how would she have not compelled Damon, too?
Yeah, at least partly, yeah.
Right. And he's saying, like, I knew everything the whole time. Like, that feels a little revisionist to me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's like, whatever you need to sleep at night, buddy.
Exactly. But I'm very proud of Emily. The pentagram on fire and the amber blowing up was very cool. I thought that it was very mean that Damon just immediately was like, well, truce is over. I'm gonna fucking kill Bonnie, actually. Fuck this witch, actually. But...
For real.
Thankfully that did not happen, because I would have stopped watching this show.
Yeah, I would have shut my laptop and thrown it away.
Yeah. I'm also very glad that Bonnie is going to know what happens now, because that's
fucking
one, good
finally.
for Bonnie.
And good for Elena.
And good for Elena.
She needs fucking someone to talk to. That's not Stefan. Okay?
Very good.
Let her have her best friend involved. She's also a witch. She's good. You know, she's good for it. Okay?
I think it would be very
vouch.
confusing if Bonnie was like, well, I believe in witches, but I draw the line at vampires.
Yeah. Draw the line at vampires and ghosts. It's over. It's just me. I'm the only cool supernatural person here. Sorry.
Two things that we haven't talked about before we talk about, like, the very end of this episode. First, Matt and Caroline. How did you feel about that?
I love their little, like, beef at the beginning of her being like, oh, you just said hey to me? And he was like, Like, she's like, that's such a guy move. Like, you're gonna pretend you don't even like me. And he's like, I say hey to you every day.
Since first grade, Caroline. What the fuck
You're
do you want from me?
overthinking it. And that's a girl move, actually. And it's like, okay, y'all, fucking relax.
They were
and then,
so
like,
weird
he's just,
with each other.
And he's just, like, popping in and out of her window, being like, hey, we gotta talk. Sorry. My emotions are confusing. And I also am alone. And I'm projecting a lot. Whoops. Sorry.
Here's my question for you. This is the home of a sheriff.
Right. Yes.
So, there are two things that have to be true here. Either home of sheriff.
Yeah.
I think her name was Liz that we talked about last time or whatever. Has to have a very strong home security system.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine.
What I'm choosing to believe in this moment is that Caroline has disabled the one on her window.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that she would not have something like that. I don't think that would be allowed there. That seems weird to me.
Yeah, that tracks.
But yeah, I thought that was very funny that he comes in, he's like, hey, so I know that I just like literally came into your house without you inviting me, but you're alone. And she's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And he's like, no, wait, I meant to finish that sentence. I'm also alone. So let's be alone together.
Yeah, the fact he starts to being like, I don't like you. And it scared me. And it's like, and she's like, are you gonna fucking insult me? Like, what the fuck? Get out of here. Like, what's going on?
You could have just texted me this. What the fuck?
Yeah, this is too much.
And then they just like end the episode sponsored by fucking Pepperidge Farms.
Oh my god.
She brought in so many cookies. It seemed fun though. The other thing that we haven't talked about, Rick and Jenna.
Yes. Jenna makes me mad with her choices. So bad. And I know she should live her life and have a life. But also, I'm nervous about it.
Understand her choices in men? Sure, absolutely I do. She's in her 30s, I get it. Limited choices, small town. Fresh meat. This man did also tell you that he moved away from North Carolina because he married young and his wife just died and he doesn't know how. So, I mean, maybe not. Also, he's your guardian, your charges history teacher. So maybe don't.
So
maybe not. But I did think it was funny because he didn't come through the door. She's like, I'm not going to let you in.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So not great. Not great, Jenna. I understand. I'm not going to blame you because I've been there before, but also don't, maybe don't do it.
Please don't.
Please don't. Please just, Jeremy's just trying to get through. Maybe let's not, for his sake. So the end of this episode, Damon's like, well, I'm going to go now. Stefan just screaming, crying, yelling, throwing up.
Right.
Because he just tried to do the whole thing of like, Elena's like, well, look, we just had a really great, we did it. We solved it. Everything's great.
Congratulations.
But now he's like, actually, no. I need to go now. I'm glad that unlike in New Moon, she yells at him.
And thank God.
She was just like, you're just gonna walk away?
Yeah. Is that it?
Because it was weird. And Elena thankfully telling Bonnie what's happening and crying.
Yeah.
I wish these conversations, these like breakup conversations would stop happening in forests though. It's a weird, it's happened twice now. And I don't like it.
It's like, do it in a stable environment. Maybe not with people around, but at least there's people present.
At least this time, Elena had another person present and could drive away.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like Bella just stumbling in the forest.
Right.
So that's good. What do you think is Logan's deal? Is he real?
I don't know, and I hate it.
I don't understand.
Like, what's happening?
Is it a ghost newscaster?
He's like, I have to report the news. In the afterlife. I gotta do my live hits.
Capitalism's still striking, even in the afterlife. That's my worst fear.
Yeah. God.
I'm so scared. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going on. But next week is episode 10. And the photo preview that we have looks like an episode just for you, actually.
Right. It's the news.
Episode 10 is called The Turning Point.
God. And you know this is a job fair, too. So
it's like, 100% a job fair.
Like, they're all gonna be like, oh my god, imagine, like, I know Stefan shouldn't be at school anymore, but that'd be so funny. Like, he gets up, dresses in a nice little suit, and it's like, I want to be an investment banker. Like, this is something I'm interested in.
Yeah, because, like, I see waters, I see sodas. It's a huge banner there.
Yeah.
And you know that, like, Caroline, she's there with her mom, and her mom's probably doing a little booth, too.
Yeah, right.
It's just the idea of a banner, not even for, like, their news, not for their newspaper or their, like, local news, but just a banner that says broadcast journalism is fucking hilarious to me.
Just any job you could get in the news.
That's just powerful.
I love it.
Come on, folks, join broadcast journalism. Do you want to be here?
Do it.
For the 2012 presidential election? Do you want to be here for Occupy? We got some great stuff coming down the line.
Yeah, just you wait. You have no idea what's in store.
Do you want to be here for BP? You got no idea what's coming up. So excited for you.
Your relationship to ducks will change forever. You have no idea what's in store.
I can't wait for you to write a lot about Dawn soap. No, I'm very excited about next week. We have some amazing patrons that I would love to thank. Do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Sean Salvatore.
Ooh, thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh, thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Pew, pew. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ooh, thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh, thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Laura Forty.
Ooh, thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Emily O'Zara.
Ooh. I have a fanfiction for you. This is by the author, Volus. I honestly don't know how to say this.
Sure.
It is titled Dressed Up as a Hawk.
Okay.
And this was published in November of 2009.
Nice.
The summary is set a while after season 1, episode 9. And my personal summary for you is that this has Elena and Damon in it. And Elena is going to her parents' graves.
Okay.
There are no chapters. She made her way to her parents' familiar headstone and settled against the cold ground. Sorry it's been so long, she said. She ran her hand over their names, lingering over the final T. It's been a little more than crazy here. She shifted against the cold ground, dug a thermos out of her bag. Jeremy's doing a little better than he was. I think I caught him doing actual homework last night, which is weird. She unscrewed a lid out of the thermos, reveled in the fragrant steam as she poured. An offering for the dead? Elena gasped as Damon sauntered into the sunlight. She blinked, and he was before her, grasping her hands before relieving her of the cup. Don't mind if I do, he said, though he grimaced after taking a sip. What? It's cider, Elena replied, scowling as he poured the liquid onto the ground. Not even the real kind, he said, And for the record, the dead prefer whiskey. She snatched the cup back from his idle hand, poured another cupful and drank, defiantly. It was just short of scalding, and the spices lingered on her tongue. She let a breath out and decided Damon wasn't going to kill her today. I could kill you, you know, he said, stopping short of leaning against the headstone. The Rivain keeps me from compelling you, but that's all. You won't, Elena said. She took another sip of the cider, then steadied the cup on the ground. Stefan would kill you, if you did. My dear brother. Damon looked at her and his eyes darkened. Maybe it would serve him right. Elena stood, but then Damon was behind her, his breath hot against her neck. Maybe he should lose someone that he loves, Damon murmured. He brushed his hand against Elena's hair. She jerked away. You're talking about Catherine, she observed. His eyes narrowed and Elena turned, faced him fully. I'm sorry about that. I'm sure Emily didn't spare me, Damon said. His laugh wiped the anger from his face. I don't need you to feel sorry for me. Elena gazed at him for a moment, at the tension in his jaw and shoulders. But you like it, don't you? You wouldn't be standing here if you didn't. End scene.
Okay, little spicy.
And in front of her parents, no less.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's like, read the room, buddy. First of all.
Though I will say, it has been a nice change of pace to not have her sulking at the cemetery and writing.
Right. Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen. Even though that's the new one and not the old one, I'm glad that we're kind of getting away from the cemeteries.
Yeah. Agreed.
It is a nice change of pace. Well, friends, we still have a couple of weeks left in this year, and you have a new Spotify Wrapped. So it's a good time to tell your friends about the show to get those new stats. Which is very exciting. I love that. Yeah. And also...
I love stats.
I love stats. I love data. And to our patrons, please tell us what you would like us to do for our last bonus episode of this year.
Yes.
So we can start planning for that. But as we say here in the Pacific Northwest...
Get bit.
Ooh.
Ow.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.